All right, let's have some fun here because this is one of the more interesting prospects to talk about in the 2025 NFL draft, and that's Jalon Walker from Georgia. Is he a pass rusher? Is he a linebacker? Is he neither? Is he both? Is he something else? We can talk through it all with Jalon Walker. 6'1", 243 pounds. Is he a tweener? What do you kind of like him best at? Georgia used him everywhere, and that's the big thing that stands out when you first watch him on film. There's definitely a Where's Waldo element with this player because one snap, you might see him lined up as a true stacked linebacker. Then you might see him walked out over the slot. You might see him down on the line of scrimmage, standing up over the center. Then you might see him lined up with his hand in the dirt off the edge against the tackle. So he's used all over the formation with this Georgia defense, and he was an impactful player. He was able to make plays against the run, against the pass. Now the question is just trying to project that forward because every team has had these horror stories, or most teams at this point have had the horror stories where, you know what, we draft a player that is the positionless player and he can do this and that. He can wear all these different hats, and then it doesn't work out. You have to have the plan of what is this guy going to be on base downs? What is he going to be on sub-package downs? You try and build things out from there. What position room is he going to be in? You honestly have to start there. Is he an off-ball linebacker or is he a pass rusher? Trying to figure that out right off the jump, and then you go from there. I think projecting him to the NFL, it could be a little bit of a tricky situation. Number one, intangibles-wise, everything. He is one of the quintessential leaders in college football. Everything you want from a mental toughness standpoint, from a leadership standpoint. He was the captain and the heart and soul of that Georgia defense this past year. So there's a lot to like there from the intangible side. But when you get back to the film, you get back to the usage, what is the role for Jalon Walker? Well, if he's off ball, I don't think that at 240 pounds, he's not quite the type of athlete that you would want in today's league, right? Because he's not a guy that is going to consistently move in reverse and be a tight end eraser, match up with tight ends out of the backfield. Even some of your more explosive running backs might be able to get the best of him in space. He also, since he didn't do it all the time, he's a little bit up and down with reading things out from the box and just making sure that he can get to the football as fast as possible. He's got great closing speed, but how fast he sees it, he's a little bit up and down there. He's great through contact. He's going to be a great thumper downhill in the run game if he's asked to do it on a consistent basis. But it's just about, all right, just getting the most of him out of there. If he's going to be an off-ball linebacker, when you get to third down, he could become a part of your pressure package, much like a Demario Davis down in the New Orleans Saints. What he's done there for that defense, playing for Dennis Allen, he did a great job in that role. I could see Jalon Walker having a similar type of impact on that on a defense like that. Then you say, all right, well, what if I don't feel it, Fran? I don't see him as an off-ball linebacker. I see him as an edge rusher. All right, well, at 6'1", 240 pounds, he's on the smaller side of the equation there. And athletically, we don't have any testing on him yet. I think he leaves you a little bit wanting. He's not a guy that, to me, is always going to be able to get the corner on offensive tackles. He's really explosive in a straight line late in the down. I just don't see that first step explosiveness and that ability, more importantly, to consistently clear the hands of an offensive tackle. He's going to have to develop a deeper array of pass rush moves working off the edge if he's going to be a full-time pass rusher. And again, that would just be a projection. We haven't seen him do it all that often. As a rusher, where I love him most, where he honestly found the most success, was when he was standing up on the line of scrimmage over a guard or over the tackle or over a center, and then they did all kinds of stunts and twists and things like that with him. He was really impactful in that role. But those snaps are few and far between. You're talking a handful of snaps a game at most. So if you're going to play him as a full-time edge rusher, he's going to have a lot of development there. Again, he's on the smaller side, so it's going to be more projection there with Jalon Walker. So every team, every scheme, every coach, every scout, every general manager, you're going to have a wide array of opinions in any building on Jalon Walker. What is his role going to be? What is his impact going to be? If you're the Kansas City Chiefs, I look at a player that they were able to get a great value out of in Leo Chenal, who's a mid-round pick out of Wisconsin. He's been excellent for them. Would you draft Leo Chenal in the top 15? I don't even know if Steve Spagnuolo would say, oh yeah, definitely sign. I want to get this player in the top 15. If he's Demario Davis, all right, maybe Demario Davis, are you taking that guy in the top 10? I think that's a question with Jalon Walker. If you think that he's going to be Hassan Reddick, obviously, if he's going to be like a Von Miller, what Von Miller had been as an undersized rusher, yes, punch that ticket. He's a first-round pick, top 20 type selection all day long. But I think you have to kind of talk through the impact, the value. What are you getting out of this player? And again, it's going to be different for every team. Wide variety, 32 different opinions on what this player could mean for their system. It's why he's one of the most fun players to watch. I will say he's one of my favorite players to study just because of all the different things that he can do. But it's a matter of just being realistic and trying to project that forward for your team.